Page 67, this is part 4 at the bottom of the page of the Forty-Finger Ensemble. Okay. In the previous lesson, I mentioned that there's usually one part in an ensemble that's the hardest, that's really tricky. It's like, that would be part 3, where the eighth notes are going crazy. Well, there's usually also a part in an ensemble, doesn't have to be, but usually there is, that is just as boring as it can be. And that one here would be part 4, because you see it's just a bunch of half notes. And you think, now wait a minute, so why are we bothering with this? We'll just leave this part out, I don't like it. Well, it's actually one of the more important parts in the piece. Because music is built from the bottom up, sound from the bottom up. The overtones are always above the sound you're playing. And so in an ensemble or in harmony in any music, whether it's solo or harmony, whatever, it's built from the bottom up. So the bass, whoever is playing the bottom, is extremely important and needs to be heard. So if you have to decide on balance between the parts, who's louder and softer, because the dynamics don't help, you have to decide, we want melody. In this case, it would be part 1. And after that, we want the bass, and that would be part 4. The other parts are in the middle. They need to tone it down. So we want to hear the melody, and we want to hear the bass. We want to hear that. All this other stuff, harmony in the middle, that's just filler. So even though this is a boring part in part 4, it's actually an extremely important boring part. So let's take it in that regard and say, yes, we need this, and it needs, you're supporting the whole ensemble. So let's talk about it. 2 lines long with a repeat, treble and bass clef, 4 flats in the key signature. We've been through this talk before. 4/4 time signature, and there's a note that both hands go 2 octaves down. Well, that's sweet. Middle C's here. You just pretend middle C goes down 2 C's. 1 C, 2 C's. And this, if I could play it, this. See, I can play it if I try enough. This, that's middle C. So here, instead of here, where they're written, you're 2 octaves lower, you're here. And yes, you can move down and sit in front of the keyboard there, here. So you're here. There, you're playing down there. And 4/4 time signature, and again, just make sure you can do the notes and the rhythms. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's fun. Okay. So I go through it, get the notes and the rhythms, no hesitations. And then to think about the articulation. And here you can lift up for the phrasing if you want. My opinion, you can also just connect this bass line all the way through the piece. Both lines together. The only time you need to lift up, if at all, would be at the end of the second line when you repeat. There you can lift up and take a breath. But otherwise, like at the end of the first line, so I would connect that. Those eighth notes lead into what's coming. And when it leads into it, it's normal to connect it. Now, I'm not going to go lead in and suddenly take a jump. No. So I'm suggesting here you connect the whole 2 lines together and you can lift up when you repeat. Yet the phrasing really is more in the melody, or a counter melody if there is one. There isn't, but the melody. That's where the phrasing becomes really important. This other stuff, harmony and support stuff, does not have to have the same articulation as the other stuff. I mean, you could be playing some of these other parts staccato in some places. Doesn't mark it, but it could have, in theory, could have been marked staccato. Here. Here. But even if it were, like the bass part, I'd still connect it all. Because it's 2 different parts doing 2 different things and it fits together. Now once you have the articulation, then the dynamics is the same as before. You have to be careful when you're playing the bass part down here. Because when you get down on a piano, it gets loud all by itself. When you go up, it tends to get softer all by itself, believe it or not. So here you may have to tone it down where instead of loud, you're only sort of loud. And instead of mezzo forte, you might have to go down to mezzo piano. Listen to the ensemble. How do you fit in with the ensemble? You need to be loud enough to support them, but don't overpower the melody. That's important. So how loud you are, I can't tell you that until you're with everybody. Now because of the half notes and all, I'm going to speed this up just for this video. Normally you would not. You'd take it the same. How fast would you go? 1, 2, that's how fast you would go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Different things you can do. At the end of the first line on the eighth notes here, since you got to be mezzo forte in the second line, almost mezzo piano down here, you can put in a little diminuendo there. Come down on him. Come down, because the others are going from a half note and they're just holding on, and in piano that half note's going to die away on its own. You know, when you're playing them, it dies away on its own. So you can do that with the eighth notes. Just play them a little softer. That way you blend into this mezzo forte at the bottom. And I suggest you tone that dynamics down a little bit. Don't think loud like you're doing in the others. You're going to be a little lighter down here because it will come out louder all by itself. Let's play it together slowly and check everything. Not doing louds and softs. We will do the repeats. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2.